Well, hello there, my Aries collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Welcome to your Path of True Love reading for November 2019. I am your reader, Mark Angelo Lyons, president of Joining the Circle Productions, professional witch, professional intuitive, and due to Mercury retrograde, dealing with a whole new camera. Really, these past couple of days, whoo! And I am a Virgo, so, I expect that to an extent. It's going to hit me particularly in an earth way, because with us earth signs, I'm sure the Geminis are getting walloped too. So if you're new to my channel, you're seeing it differently than all the previous ones, really. It's an HD camera that changed the lighting. It's got a light on it, so it's just a really, really different production value, and I can edit it much easier and faster than the way I was doing it before, so blessed be, right? To my subscribers, welcome back. I hope all is well with you. Thank you for liking, subscribing, sharing, and following along. Some of you are even hitting the notification bell, so please do, so you see when new stuff of mine comes out. I'm doing these pretty consistently, Mercury retrograde aside. But if you are new to the channel, yes, please like and subscribe, but also to get that what we're about to do here, Path of True Love reading. I'm actually in process of putting together a book called The Path of True Love from a Professional Witch. And if you look in my description box, my first two ebooks, I only have the two so far. Spell Ingredients and the other one is Words of Grace. Two very different books, actually. Yeah, the Path of True Love, my editor Jill Schweitzer is working on it. Yes, I have a Schweitzer working on my book. Path of True Love, it's not a new concept, right? The course of true love never did run smooth. William Shakespeare, Midsummer Night's Dream, you could say, well, the path of true love never did run smooth because it's tricky. So this reading, it's not a twin flame read, it's not a soulmate read, it's not even a true lover's read. It's about you on your healing path, your spiritual path, looking through the lens of relationships. Path of True Love can be about sexual, intimate, romantic stuff, but can also be about family, about friends, about co-workers. It can be any of the relationships going on in your life that are here to help you learn everything from a fifth dimensional consciousness that happens to us, right? Fifth dimensional, it's eighth chakra. It's like from the penthouse, right? From the moon looking down. Everything is here to help us grow, heal, learn, and evolve, but on a soul level, right? The personality may or may not get what it wants, right? The ego may or may not get what it wants, and the ego and the personality are not the same thing. Yeah, what's the work we have to do? Now, if you watch any of those Samhain reads I did, there's a lot of that going on in there about that alchemy. So every time I do a series, like my guides, my masters, my teachers, whatever you want to call them, are like, new spread, do it this way. So, I always read myself first. And the one I just did, I'm not going to say it brought me to tears, but it definitely opened my heart. So I think you're going to like it. The Path of True Love reads tend to be only about the person who's watching. I mean, you can cross-watch for sure. Cross-watchers are welcome. I cross-watch all the time. No shame. I don't care. I don't care. You can't stop me. It's just a click and watch. So let's get into this. This is about you, about what's going on in the Path of True Love for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign for November 2019. We're going to start with two Caroline Myss archetype cards. All the decks that I use are in the description box below. I added a new one that we're going to end with. I did it in the True Lovers read for November. I introduced it. So we're going to be doing Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine. I always start with Divine Feminine, ladies first, right? But it's not about bodily gender, right? This is, and both sides are you. See, that's what's new about this one. Both the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine are about your masculine, feminine energies on the path of true love, and that may very well be mirroring, right, in the people that are coming into your life, or what's called a reverse mirror, right? The opposite of, or the mirror of judgment, like what it is that you judge is, you're being presented with things to judge. Watch the 7 Essene mirrors. There's a good video. Oh God, Greg Braden, Greggbraden. It's old, but they're from the Dead Sea Scrolls. So the videos, I think in the 90s, it was done in the 90s, I think. So go check it out. You'll see what I mean. All right, so let's just get down to biz here, shall we? Please take a deep breath. Remember to breathe, my Aries, my Rams. Call in your guides, your masters, your teachers, your gods, your goddesses, your saints, your angels, your totems, your healers, your ancestors, to guide us all through this. Here we go. No, my collective pantheon of angels, gods, masters, and the higher souls of all involved. Please, one card to represent the divine feminine in this Aries collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, Path of True Love read for November 2019. Where are they on the path of true love? The Don Juan. Now, this just happened in some of the readings that I did, where the divine feminine got an explicitly, at least named, masculine card. Don Juan means Father Juan, right? Father John. So I'm going to read the archetypes, the shadow and the light on that once the other one is out, so that we can bounce them off of each other. Now remember, that's inside of you. That has to do with seduction. Definitely a magnetizing thing. The Don Juan archetype, interestingly enough, is not in the masculine family of archetypes. It is in the wild card, I'm pretty damn sure. So it is like a wild card that way. So I like when it pops up. The femme fatale is sort of its counterpart, but we'll see. Let's see what pops up. So that's your divine feminine, your yin, right? Your own feminine, intuitive, emotional stuff. Being, right? So please, my pantheons, my collective pantheons, one card to represent the divine masculine energy within this Aries collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign on the path of true love for November 2019. The warrior. Well, there we go. That is the warrior is definitely an action family archetype. I know you'd think it was masculine, but you know, Wonder Woman, right? Xena, Gabrielle, I could go on. Boudica, Athena, right? The warrior archetype and the masculine. So we've got the Don Juan and the warrior. Now I will say the Don Juan speaks of the power of seduction. I'll read it in a moment. But you see, the vibe I'm getting from the collective here is this may not, I mean, for a bunch of y'all, yeah, it's about sexual romantic stuff, but, you know, seduction. Is it about being seduced? Is it about being seduced? Is it about seducing yourself? Like, good salesmen have the Don Juan archetype, even if there's no Me Too energy, and again, there's like nothing sexual romantic going on at all. So the shadow attribute, using the power of romantic attraction for private agenda. And that's why I'm going to say, yeah, okay, that's in there, that you're using it to get something you want. For the divine feminine, it's understandable in terms of that, because remember, this isn't necessarily a masculine energy card. It's a wild card family archetype. So using power of romantic attraction for private agenda, keep a look on what is your private agenda. What is it that you're trying to get done in the shadow, meaning that you might know what it is, but you don't want anybody else to know what it is, or it's so deep in the shadow you don't even know why you're doing it, right? So that's in the shadow. We're going to alchemize that into the light by spotlighting your positive seductive qualities, right? There are such things as positive seductive qualities. Sometimes, like when you're really exhibiting a certain part of healthy behavior, right? Or really, really enjoying yourself, you become seductive to sort of invite people into the party, right? To invite people into the healing, to whatever that is. And by all means, when seduction is mutually agreed upon, it's delightful, right? Are you trying to seduce me? Do you think? Oh, sorry, I'm getting both George Michael and The Graduate. Would you like me to seduce you? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Let's look at the warrior here. Now remember, this is not two different people. These are two dominant archetypes for you for the month. Soul powers that you're alchemizing for November 2019 through your relationship. So the warrior, shadow attribute. Trading ethical principles for victory at any cost. No, doesn't sound like an Aries at all, he said with sarcasm. Indifference to the suffering inflicted on others, which, okay, there's that touch of narcissism, lack of empathy, indifference, right? So that narcissistic thing about wounding others, not giving a rat's ass, and you know, having no empathy for them. It's never going to work out, right? So if that's going on in you, and even just a little bit, and this is your masculine energy and your mind and your actions, right? Your fire element. That's why we're going to look at fire, earth, air, water for both of these within you. So let's really take a look-see at the light attribute, the gold you're shooting for. Strength, skill, discipline, and toughness of will, toughness of choice. To say, no, I'm going to be strong, I'm going to be bad. I'm going to be bold. I'm going to be wiser. I'm going to be hard. I'm going to be tough. I'm going to be stronger. I'm going to be cool. I'm going to be calm. I'm going to stay together. All I know is true love will save the day, because true love does conquer all. I'm sorry. I just totally had a flash back. Okay. The rest of this card, heroism, right? To be brave. Stoicism and self-sacrifice and conquering the ego. Now, the ego in this case is the toxic patterning, right? The ego has to be heard. The ego has to be embraced. It's just not to be acted upon, right? So the ego, the sense of control, the sense of separateness from other people in the shadow, and this is saying, no, I'm going to make, toughness of will. I'm going to really, really make the choices to change, to take the hero's journey, to be stoic, stoicism, to really like take it into yourself and say, no, I can feel that I want to do this, but I'm not going to, but I am going to do the hard thing. I'm going to take the harder option, which is to love this pain inside of me that makes me want to lash out, whether it's narcissism or, whatever, just anger, right? Unfinished business, toxicity, because we all have it within us. And remember, as we heal it within ourselves little by little, we're healing it for the entire holographic collective. That's the fifth dimensional awareness. That's what the path of true love is shooting you for. Yeah, well, you're shooting for that. It's getting you. That's why every relationship along the way, even of course your relationship to yourself, your relationship to your higher self, your gods, your higher power, every single one of them, people, not stepping stones that you're going to use to get there, but they're all helping you to be true love. Unconditional love, fully manifested, fully integrated into the human body and the personality, right? When you love yourself, you come from the higher self loving the personality, the role that you play in this life, with all of its foibles, with all warts and all, with all of its gifts, with all of its skills, all of its lead, all of its gold. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take 5 cards right off the top of the deck for the Divine Feminine, Fire, Earth, Air, Water, Spirit. You'll see. I've been using this spread a lot more. I read it for so long in bars and clubs and different events in quickies that I love integrating it into a larger read like this. All right, so let's do this. My gods, please, 5 cards, top 5 cards, element spread for the Divine Feminine in the Divine Feminine Aries Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign on the path of true love for November 2019. Considering we have the Don Juan archetype, please, top 5 cards. Fire. What does she want? I'm just saying she for the Divine Feminine. Doesn't matter what the bodily gender is here. Fire. What does she want? Earth. What does she have to get her what she wants? Air. What does she think about what she wants? Water. What does she feel about what she wants? Spirit. What is the overview from her higher self? Right? That's good. Oh, yeah. Maiden. Clean cut, please. Mother and crone. Maiden, mother, crone. Cool. Here we go. What does the Divine Feminine Don Juan archetype within you want? To walk away. 8 of Cups, to walk into the self, right? To go into the self, to walk away from a situation, to walk towards something healthier, to walk towards something that's more serving, right? To go deeper, but away from something literally. She took a boat there to get away, right? Okay, travel by water, not that way though, right? Okay, so what does she have? What is the earth that fuels the fire, like the wick feeds the flame or the log feeds the bonfire? Well, we've got the Pisces card here, so something there about a Piscean. Now, certainly can be a Piscean influence in your life, but since this is Divine Feminine energy, this could also be your emotions, but not just your emotions, your mutable emotions. The waxing and waning, the ebb and flow of emotions going on within you, which would make sense with this 8 of Cups. That if you're going inside, it's going to connect in with the changing emotions within you. It could be a time of emotional purification, of emotional exorcism, of emotional purge, loving what rises within you, right? To give a voice to those emotions that have been repressed. But with that Don Juan, it's really interesting because the Don Juan feels very much like it wants to seduce and bring something in. But what the Divine Feminine wants here, it's almost like you're being seduced inward. And there is something called divine seduction. I was seduced by the divine when I was, you could say very young in one sense, as a child. But really, when I went to the Boston Conservatory, I went to the Boston Conservatory of Music, Dance, and Theater, where I specialized in drugs, apparently, and had my spiritual awakening. It wasn't that hard. It was the 80s, right? A little, but, you know, I had my fun. But that's when the divine, like, co-opted me, seduced me, right? Visions and synchronicities and all of that, where every single thing had a meaning. And, you know, you see a feather float to the ground, you go, oh, spirit. You know, after 30 years of that shit, you see a feather going, like, where's that bird going to shit on my head, right? You get a little crusty. So there's something calling you in. You may very well be being seduced to go within for the love that only you can give you. It's how it goes. But yeah, I'm also getting with this, though, that you might very well be having dreams and visions and intuitions of that nature. You might even be so empathic, right? I'm not going to say that Pisces is the most empathic sign, but I will say that 12th house is the collective unconscious. So if any sign is going to be feeling the empathy of all of life, it's the Pisces, and I'm a Pisces moon. Just saying, yeah. Try steering that around all day long at Stop and Shop or wherever. Let's look, what is the divine feminine thinking about all of this? You know, this is the third cup card in a row. So you're thinking about compassion, exactly, that ebb and flow, that 6 of cups. Now, usually thought of as the nostalgia card, but here we're really looking about the equal give and take of compassion. It's not that one-sided compassion. So perhaps you have been more compassionate, but you're not receiving that compassion and understanding back. They're giving me again the word empathy. Now look, empathy, we really need to have a discussion about empathy, I think, in general in life, because there's the empathic, intuitive skill of empathy, right? I am a clairvoyant empath. I just have been my whole life, feel other people's stuff. I can feel it in my body. I'm an earth sign, right? So when someone's angry, I feel it in my body. When somebody's sad, I feel it in my body. And it took me a long time to figure out I was feeling other people's stuff, thought it was my own, or there was an instant interpretation that what they were feeling was their opinion of me, which is what creates passive narcissism, different than covert or overt narcissism. Passive narcissism is, oh, you feel that way about me, and you start people-pleasing them so that they feel better, so that you feel better in your own body. And that's manipulative, but it's so under the radar. We might have been raised in a family where we did that, right? But that's one kind of empathy, and I'm feeling a lot of that going on. And there's definitely, with that Don Juan thing, a real choice here about what to do with that. But then there's just basic human empathy, right? Where you may not necessarily feel it in the body. Really, it's more like sympathy in that you do take other people's feelings into consideration when you make choices. The first type of empathy we're talking about is an intuitive, energetic, dynamic experience where you're feeling other people's stuff or in the collective. Where then there's that other empathy where the person may not be there and you don't take their feelings into consideration, or you do. So that's empathy. So that's why, you know, with this warrior archetype, we're going to look at, really take a look at what's going on with the empathy within you. Social, like empathy towards people in our society, right? People, and just watch the news. You'll know if you have empathy for them, or if you're like, fuck them, they're horrible, right? On the other side of the aisle, or whatever your political leanings are. I'm not saying that dominates your life, but I'm just saying if you do that, if you watch the news, notice what type of empathy comes in, because really we need a balance of both. Because even if we're feeling someone is incredibly foobar, right, fucked up beyond all belief, can we then have empathy for them? Not that we're going to hemorrhage to them, like if you're dealing with a narcissist, you can kind of feel their pain, but like, can you have empathy for them and yet do that in a healthy way where it is a 6 of cups, a balanced give and take, right? Ebb and flow. All right. So what is she feeling about all of this, considering we got water everywhere? What is okay? Well, and what she's feeling is the Virgo card. Now, what's interesting, if you got Virgo and Pisces. Well, I am a Virgo sun and a Pisces moon, so I don't think this is me. I have one planet in Virgo, and it's Saturn, right? I had my Saturn return when it was in Aries. So this is really an interesting opposition. Yes, I was born on a full moon, right? A sun in Virgo, moon in Pisces. So what you're feeling here then really is about this walking away. It's about going within, keeping to yourself, healing yourself, being occupied with self. Now, occupied with self sounds an awful lot like narcissism, but this is about healing and occupation, because what you are occupied with affects your health, right? It just does. Health and occupation. So there's a thing there about, okay, with all this emotional stuff, I'm going to pull back and I'm going to heal, right? I am going to be occupied with my own emotional baggage, my own relationships on the path of true love, understanding that I might be feeling everybody's everything. And maybe that's why the pulling back. It's like I'm feeling everybody's everything. So I need to kind of suss out, you know, not just what you do about it, but what's mine, right? And am I being healthy in my empathy? Let's get one more down for the overview from the higher self in terms of spirit, right? Looking down from the, and you're getting a new opportunity to do this. You're getting an ace of flames. So there is a creation, a desire, like a call, right? To me, the aces are different types of calls, right? A call to action. In this case, it's a passionate call. It's a call. It's a choice. It's like, I'm getting the opportunity to do this, and I want to do this. I want to choose this element of fire, choice, decisions, desire. Let's do the same for your divine masculine warrior here using the Mythic Tarot, Juliet Sherman Burke. Please, my God's top 5 cards. Whoopsie dipsy. An older deck. Please, my God's top 5 cards for this Aries collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign on the path of true love for November 2019. What does he want? Element of fire, what does he have? Element of earth, what does he think? Element of air, what does he feel? Element of water, what is the overview? Element of spirit, please. Top 5 cards. Riffle, shuffle, cut in 3. Got it. Riffle, shuffle. Ooh, a little messy, but there. Maiden, mother, crone. Although I guess I should say sun, father, sage, but habits. All right, for this warrior archetype within you, remember, this is your masculine energy, this is your feminine energy. Let me put them down so I don't unconsciously reshuffle them. What's your element of fire here? The moon. Okay, so you may not know exactly what you want. You might be like, I don't know, because this is definitely a feminine energy. So your masculine energy may not be in communication with your feminine energy, hence why she's going in, right? To kind of do some healing, really figure out. Because with that empathy card, your intuition might be feeling somebody else's desires for you. It happens. Now look, is that all telepathy? Is that all like soul bond, soul connection? Maybe, maybe not. But the divine masculine eventually has to take action and make choices on this stuff. So what he wants is something there about the moon. And we are going to clarify these with other decks. So don't worry, it will come clear. What do you have to help you deal with that card of the moon? Well, the Knight of Cups. Now, the Knight of Cups, interestingly enough, is the Pisces card. So in both Earth positions, we have Pisces energy for both the divine masculine and the divine feminine. I don't know if you can see in the card, but there's a little fishy. That's what I love. It was the Mythic Tarot, Juliet Sherman Burke, that really taught me the zodiacal nature of the court cards, kings, queens, and knights, knights. Pages are still in the deck, but they're really more like messengers than zodiacal signs. I prefer that. It makes sense in my Virgo mind. It clicks in. So again, something here about following the intuition. And if we look at the way the cards are, it's like the knight is going towards the moon, and this is Hecate, by the way, goddess of the crossroads, goddess of witches. So there's something here in your divine masculine energy that really wants to approach this, that really wants to embrace, to go into the intuitive part. But still, I mean, I can feel that. We're going to see that in the next few cards that go down, though. The Knight of Cups is at a walk, right? There are 4 speeds with horses. There's gallop, there's canter, there's trot, and then there's walk. Sorry, so this would be trot, right? At a trot. So Pisces is that Knight of Cups. is the trot. They're coming forward, but they're coming forward at a nice pace, right? So feels comfortable, but perhaps not at a gallop like Aries would be, or a canter like a Sagittarius would be, or a slow walk like a Virgo, right? Okay, so there is something in motion here. Yes, this could be a Pisces person in your life, but don't keep it only to sun sign. And really, with that Don Juan, if this is romantic going on here, for the divine feminine part of you, it's like, it's really weird on a first date to ask them for their birth date, location, and time, right? I have to run your chart before I have this drink with you. I need to know what the fuck you are, right? So it's really then something more about dreamy and romantic here, particularly if the divine masculine and divine feminine have the exact same energy in the exact same position, right? What's going on in the mental field here now? What does the divine masculine think? Well, the divine masculine here is thinking justice, right? Balance, gotta do this balance. And what's going on here in the air position with the feminine is, so here we have emotional balance with the divine feminine in the air element, in the mind element. And here we've got Athena in the justice card about divine justice, right? Not just about balance, but about karmic law and balance and well, justice, making sure that things are just, that things are honorable. And we're looking here at a warrior that in its shadow can be extremely dishonest, right? Completely dishonorable. Isn't that funny, the word honest and honor, right? It's got the root of it in there for both of them. But that heroism, that stoicism and self-sacrifice and conquering the ego, this is on their mind. They want to make things right, or they want to do things right, and in a just way. Well, what's he feeling? What's going on here in the feelings? Well, it's the King of Cups. So here's the Cancer card, and here's the Moon with the sign of the crab on it, Cancer. So so the emotions are on the mind here. Now, look, if this is dealing with a Cancerian person in your life, if they really are in your emotions here, then the romantic feelings can be strong and will be felt. But remember, we've got other clarifying cards here. You got like a lot of water going on here. In fact, really, if we count the card of the Moon as water, because it is, 1, 2, 3, right? 4, 5, 6. You've got a lot of emotion going on here predominantly, which can be absolutely affecting that. Also to say with the Cancerian, the King of Cups Cancerian card in the water position, that your masculine energy might be feeling very moody, and would be, because not really sure, right? Something hidden there, trying to go with the intuition but can't quite get it. So the Knight of Cups is sort of like questing to understand that, like, what is this feeling so sudden and new? Loathing. Unadulterated loathing. Sorry, that's from Wicked. If you're unfamiliar, I'm not saying you're actually feeling loathing. You'll know when I'm going empathic. So what's the spirit here for the divine masculine in you? Ooh, the Knight of Wands, the Sagittarius. Now this is the one that goes at a canter, right? Not quite a gallop, faster than a trot. Bellerophon, who slays the chimera from the back of Pegasus, right? A really, really cool myth. I don't think it goes extremely well for him, though. So the Knight of Wands, the spirit thing here is this Sagittarius energy, right, of expansion. That's very masculine energy. That's very much the warrior, bow and arrows, about going after what they want. Now, I know this is often called the player, like play has got to, don't hate the player, hate the game. Maybe that is part of this. Maybe there is a player in here, and with that Don Juan energy, doesn't shock me. But then with that warrior, like, what is that shadow part? Indifference to the suffering inflicted on others if you're trying to win, to score at any cost. This is sexual romantic, right? I just need a couple of cards for the intellect and for the intuition to go, yeah, that's what this is. Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and he, or you and she. All right, what we're going to do now with that is really our solid foundation of those archetype cards and tarot. We're going to clarify with the angels. My angels, please, one card in clarity for this Eight of Cups, the divine feminine, this Aries Don Juan archetype is wanting, right? To walk away, clarify. Well, I almost felt that one. That was almost there in my hand. This Eight of Cups, please. No? Yeah, no, I get it. They're really having a hard time deciding what to do here. There we go. That's the one, harmony. That you're walking into the cave. You're walking away for harmony. You're not walking away from harmony. You are walking into it, right? That's what you want. Emotional harmony. Emotional balance. Emotional balance. Justice. Yeah. All right. So my angels, please clarify this Pisces card for this Aries collective Don Juan archetype in the divine feminine. What's going on there? Enchantment. Crap. Enchantment, which means you feel it, like what you have, the earth in your divine feminine right now, is like you feel it, but there's hidden stuff going on. Something is enchanted, and that's certainly mirrored here in this card in the moon. That divine forces might be at work, that things are changing, you're feeling it. So that Eight of Cups that you want, that's kind of what you want to do. That's the choice that you can make here to deal with this emotional, intuitive thing. Because particularly, I will tell you, being an empath, I'm an empath. Well, I'm a professional empath, right? I've honed the skill, if you will, throughout the years, certainly professionally, but even recently, learning a lot of things about, why people do the things that they do from an emotional pain sort of place. So there might be something hidden here that you're picking up on, and the Eight of Cups withdrawing into harmony to bring that into balance within yourself to really, trust your intuition. Trust that if you feel like something's wrong, something's wrong. If you feel like something's off, something's off. If it's in your belly, that's your body telling you something is off here, right? And that's what this is feeling like. This isn't feeling like that emotional, fantastic meaning of fantasy love. This is like there's something going on here. There's an enchantment. It very well could be an indication that the divine is involved, but the divine is involved in everything. Everything is the divine, right? The one, the subatomic particle, the quark, all that, quantum, whatnot. Let's get a card of clarity, please, my angels, on that Six of Cups, just to remind you what the card looks like. Healing at the beach. Looks like a Reiki session on the beach. Beach Reiki. Please, one card in clarity, my angels, for that Six of Cups and dreams. Now, certainly, because we're looking at the divine feminine here, pay attention to your dreams. I don't dream. I mean, I'm sure I have them, but I don't remember them. I guess it's occupational hazard of what I do for a living, because I'm always in the subconscious and in the unconscious mind. So maybe I'm just speeding along. I don't know. But to pay attention to your dreams in terms of compassion, but also this is on your mind. This is in your mental field. So this is very much, it's like your dream. The divine feminine, you dreams of this. It's like, oh, wouldn't it be nice to be in a satisfying soulmate relationship where the compassion was both ways? Give and take in equal balance and justice. Feels like a dream, perhaps. Or in your mind, you're thinking, that's just a dream. That doesn't happen. That just does not happen in this world. There are givers and there are takers. There are plants and there are planters. What is it? There are gardens and gardeners. Right? And maybe you've just been a gardener way too fucking long that you don't believe that there's anybody in your mind, right? Believe that that's just a dream, and yet it's your dream. You can feel the difference. So let's clarify this, because there's some practicality here going on in the emotional zone for the divine feminine about that occupation. What you're occupied with emotionally is affecting your health and can be there to positive or negative, right? To its benefit or detriment. So what's going on here, my angels? Please clarify. Listening. All right. So that if you can really listen to your emotions, and by that I don't mean act on them. By that I mean listen to your emotions. Really let them have their voice. So if the emotion is very much that, oh my God, instead of going, no, we're not feeling that, I'm not in the vortex, oh my God, it's okay, sweetheart. This is the Virgo card. It's like, it's okay, honey. I love you. And you go ahead. You tell me how you feel. I love you. I'm here to listen to you. I'm not here to heal you. I'm here to love you, and I love you. And if we're going to talk compassion, the key for me, at least, to compassion, and it's so hard to remember, and it's so easy to extend to others and not yourself, and then the next day it's really easy to extend it to yourself and not to others, right? Everyone is doing the best that they can. You've done nothing wrong. This is all part of the quantum script. This was all written into the script before you were chosen to play the role. You are the soul. And the Divine Feminine, I think, has a better grasp on that kind of thing than the Divine Masculine. Because in the Divine Masculine, it all has to be belief-based for now. Where in the Divine Feminine, it's a direct experience of the divine. And that might very well be indicated here with this overview in spirit, right? So please, my angels, what's going on here? Please, one card of clarity for this Ace of Wands, this Ace of Flames, this card of creation here, this new beginning in terms of choice and desire for this Aries collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign for November. About power, right? This is about you reclaiming your power, or a new journey of power, or a new type of power, or a new experience of your power. So considering it's fire, and it's pointing to what it is that you want here, what you're getting from Spirit is a new opportunity to do this, which also then does make sense with the Virgin, better than the Merkin, the Virgin, the Maiden, right? That this is a new beginning, but to listen innocently to the voices that you are going in, to the emotions, treat them like children within you that are next in line to be loved, right? Give them the love. Give them the healing that they need. Listen to them, particularly if there has been any sort of emotional abuse in your life, covert or overt, right? Let's have a look-see-dooksy for the Divine Masculine here, please. My angels, please clarify for the Divine Masculine in this Aries collective what this moon is about. Please clarify what's going on there with the moon, if the moon card can be clarified. Please clarify. Oh, ideas and inspiration. Okay, so what you want is more intuitive ideas and inspiration, which is definitely an element of air, right? But to maybe perhaps understand them, maybe to sort of, because you might be wanting to feel it, wanting to feel inspired, wanting a new idea, and certainly that's in play in the yin, in the Divine Feminine within you. That is interesting. Yeah, let's see what clarifies now this King of Cups, because now it feels like you're on a quest, right? You're on this emotional element of water quest, that it feels like the moon, that what you want is the ideas and inspiration that the moon is sort of magnetically pulling you towards. Keeping in mind the moon can be a symbol of your own Divine Feminine who's going within, right, to get just that. Oh, that Ace of Wands, that Ace of Flames, that inspiration, that new, oh, that's what I want. Yeah. All right, so for this Knight of Cups, please, one card of clarity for the angels here, divine guidance, right? So this dude isn't wandering, may feel like he's wandering, but is actually being divinely guided. So you have that. That's not something you have to work for. That's not something you have to fast for. That's something that you have. That is that you are guided. Everyone is. But then hence the Divine Feminine pulling you within, right? It feels like the Divine Masculine part of you, the mental part of you, might be moving towards this pull inwards. The moon calling you into your own intuitive depth, but at a crossroads, right? You know that it's going to be a big decision to do it, to perhaps walk away from some toxicity, but you are being divinely guided in towards that, because that Knight of Cups is just literally facing Hecate, goddess of the underworld, by the way, too. So this Eight of Cups, what you're walking into is the gate to the underworld. Perhaps you just crossed the river Styx. Maybe that's what that water is. No, not literally dying, obviously. I don't think there's YouTube in the underworld. There's probably Pornhub in the underworld, but probably not YouTube. So let's clarify this card of Justice, shall we? Athena. In your mental, like if you're going to get a goddess in the mental field, get Athena, goddess of wisdom. So please, about this balance and that owl, Peebo, clickety click. Please, my angels, one card in clarity for this Justice card in the mental field of the Divine Masculine warrior archetype in this Aries collective. What's going on here? Guardian angel, the higher self. Yeah, you're dealing with a lot of higher self, divine guidance, spiritual inspiration stuff being called inward. And the Divine Masculine might not know what to do about that, right? Because that's the masculine. Well, what? Take the quest, right? What you can be a knight's quest, right? They're given orders from a king or a queen. In this case, it feels like you're being given orders from Athena, or if you like, your guardian angel, your higher self, telling you to go within, right? Go within for that balance, for that justice. And that if someone did you wrong, don't worry. Your higher self has got this. Now, not that your higher self is going to, I don't know, piss in their Kool-Aid, I don't know, but it's saying that there is a higher plan, a higher process here, that this happened by contract, and that justice will be done. So your higher self is like, justice, honey, it's already in play. Oh, honey, don't you worry about that, right? So in your mental field, to say, all right, you know, make it a prayer. It's like, higher self, show me the justice. Where is the justice in this? From that Athenian point of view, from that guardian angel, higher self, fifth dimensional and above point of view. It's pretty cool. What's going on here with that King of Cups then, and that emotional, that Cancerian energy, considering we've got the Cancerian energy here in the Moon card as well. Please, my angels, one card of clarity for this King of Cups. Well, is playfulness. That's good. Go in innocently, right? Emotionally, you're like, well, because here's the thing about Cancerians, having a mother, and I've had so many Cancerian women in my life. Crabs don't walk straight ahead. They tack from side to side like a sailboat, you know, without a motor. It has to go back and forth and back. I grew up on the Great South Bay. I know about this shit, although I'm not a boater. Boats are holes you pour money into. Going back and forth and back and forth. So to do it in a playful way, to say, okay, I'm on this quest. I don't know what the hell I'm doing, right? That is very Aries. It's like, okay, let's go along. Let's play along. Right? So let's play along with the intuition, because, you know, intuition is not a gift, it's a skill. Everybody has it, right? Oh, you've got the gift. No, I just have a highly refined skill, because it was either refine the skill or die. It was like either trust my gut or die. And I'm still here, Elaine Stretch. Okay. My angels, please clarify this Knight of Wands for this Aries collective, Sun, Moon, Rising Venus sign on the path of true love, divine masculine. He's got the warrior archetype. That card of the Knight of Wands, just to show it to you again, right? Definitely here's the masculine energy, right? The knight who quests for passion. What's going on here, please? One card of clarity and a new beginning. That's what you're shooting for, right? So even the higher self, right? Even the spirit overview here is saying that the new beginning is becoming. And here the divine feminine has the ace of flames, a new beginning, and here you have the voice of the angels saying that there is a new beginning. Now this is spirit. The thing about spirit cards, it doesn't mean that it's coming, it means that it's happening, but you may not see it in the disparate elements of air, fire, water, and earth. This is actually what's happening from its point of view. So just fascinating. Don't worry, I'm going to do an overview at the end, because we've still got a couple more decks to deal with. We're going to deal with, you know, because I gotta. Chuck Spezzano's Love Pack. Love Pack, baby, Love Pack. Sign says, stay away, fools, because love rules. In the Love Pack, except for them womp womp cards. Here we go. My masters, please. The voices of the masters, please clarify. In the divine feminine here, this Don Juan archetype for this Aries collective, what is this Eight of Cups with harmony about? The lovers, all right? So the divine feminine is like, I need to pull away to get harmony. I need to get... because the lovers card, this is not tarot. This is a specific thing talking about two lovers that I have to pull back to get harmony within myself. Clear, clean is why I love these cards. They're psychological, they're spiritual, they hit the mark, so to speak. All right, my masters, same thing for this Pisces card. What they have to get them what they want with enchantment. Pisces and enchantment makes me feel uncomfortable. So can you please clarify this for them? Old wounds. Old wounds. Now we've got Pisces and enchantment with old wounds. That what it is that you're feeling here might very well be the enchantment of an opportunity to heal some old wounds, hence being drawn inward and away, that the relationship that you're in, this lover's relationship, is triggering you. Whether or not they are abusing you or not, whether or not they are playing into those old wounds, there's something going on there that there's a landmine that perhaps they stepped on, or perhaps your intuition is saying this is a repeat of an old wound of mine. And I have to figure out what to do here. What would love do for me? What's the healthy thing to do? What would be courageous? What would be bold in terms of action? And it feels like walking away is the right thing, right? Like that. And but the enchantment, maybe to not do it so overtly, but just to sort of like slip away in the night. Look, if you're really being abused, to me that once abuse, and remember, psychological, emotional abuse can be incredibly subtle. It's still abuse. It's still abuse. If someone has ghosted you, make you wonder, gaslighting you, if somebody's gaslighting you, go look up gaslighting. It's really about someone trying to drive you crazy. And you know, of course I didn't say that. Or yes, you did. Yes, you did. I was there. No, I never said that. That never happened that way. They're gaslighting you. So if that's like the thing of that enchantment, something's going on here that I can't see. But then there's also this spirit of divine guidance. So that's why these two sides are probably going to mirror each other, because they're both you. Because if we look here, the Knight of Cups, the divine guidance is saying, go within, go within, go within. There's something going on here that you don't see. Something going on here that it's not. There's something hidden here, particularly with that card of the moon. All right, so what is the divine feminine here feeling? Please clarify that Six of Cups with dreams. All right, compassion with dreams, emotional balance, emotional give and take with dreams. It's like, oh well, I dreamed for that, but that's a dream. That doesn't really happen. Like, you really feel the voice of the divine feminine and the voice of the divine masculine just in that. So please, my masters, what's going on there? What are they thinking? Because it's about trust. Do I trust in my dreams? Do I trust in compassion? Do I trust that this is possible? I like this deck that way. It's just like one word, flock. That says so much. What's going on here with this Virgo and listening, right? About the emotions. I'm going to be the Virgo here. I'm going to be occupied with my emotions for health, right? I'm going to listen to them. I'm going to give them voice, but I'm not going to let them drive. I'm not going to let them, text. I'm not going to let them post on social media. I'm going to move this into a place and coming with very much a place of innocence. So please, one card of clarity here, my masters. What's going on here? Well, irresistibility. Now, usually irresistibility you think of only in like a romantic context, but this can be an irresistible thing. That these emotions you cannot resist anymore. These feelings, right? It's in your emotional phase. It's like they need to be heard, whether they're pretty or not, whether they're comfortable or not. Particularly, yes, love the joy when it rises, when it's there. Love the peace, the excitement, what do we consider the positive emotions? You love your emotions no matter what rise. They're all your children in a way inside of you, right? We give birth to our emotions. But the larger picture here definitely is it's the ones that you are being called inward to here, right? And that they are irresistible. You cannot resist them anymore. They need to be heard. Letter gold, right? If you're going to alchemize it, the Course in Miracles say, and I'll paganize it for you, if you like, the gods cannot heal what you do not acknowledge. So you got to acknowledge there are voices in me and I don't know what to do with them. So I'm just going to listen to them and I'm going to tell them I love you, because that's what they really need. They need love, but they don't need to be acted on. You don't let a sad or a wrathful 5-year-old drive, and many people do. Just saying. All right, so let's clarify then this Ace of Wands with power. Certainly a new cycle of power, a new initiation about claiming power, empowering yourself with that Don Juan energy. Remember, there's this Don Juan energy circuit routing system, routing all this stuff through this thing of either the positive, seductive qualities or ones with a hidden agenda, right? So please, what's going on here, my masters, with this Ace of Flames with power. Oh, happiness, right? This is about you saying, that's it. I'm going to be happy. I will make myself happy. This is all what's happening for you in the overview here, is that this is all about you getting a new desire for true happiness. Happiness independent from anybody else. Not just anybody else, anything else. About really claiming your power. And again, Course in Miracles always comes up when I'm shuffling this deck in my hands, apparently. Happiness is a decision I must make. I actually think that's one of the 365 lessons. If not, it's definitely in the text. Happiness is a decision I must make. So it's starting to make that decision to go within and be happy. And now that all makes sense. And boy, is that going to change your power of seduction. Because, yes, you can be seductive in the shadow. You can be seductive in all sorts of ways, Divine Feminine here within the Aries. But to also say that there's a great happy people are seductive. Happy people are very seductive because they're whole and complete within themselves. So that's what this is the beginning of, right? I know you've probably done it before. We've all had to do that sooner or later. But there's so much divine guidance here. So in the inner world, in the world behind the castle wall, the Divine Feminine, this is really going in. This is great. In the Divine Masculine, let's complete this, right? We're just going to do these, and then we're going to work with 2 other oracles to kind of sum it all up. So, my masters, the Divine Masculine wants this moon card, this moon experience with Hecate, Queen of the Crossroads, with ideas and inspiration. Please clarify. Because there is a problem. You want ideas and inspiration about a moon problem, something that's hidden, something that's confusing. That makes sense. So now, okay, let's clarify the Knight of Cups with divine guidance, right? That makes sense. That you're the divine. It's like, all right, you want to see, you want to do this, we will do this. Here's what you have. Here's the divine guidance. So please, my masters, 1 card of clarity for them on this. That there is a villain involved. There is a narcissist involved here. Only a narcissist would tie somebody to a train track. Talk about throw them under a bus. Literally tie them under a train. Well, not so literally. But the divine guidance here is really... I don't think you're the villain in here. I really don't. Well, if there is a villainous voice inside of you, certainly that needs to be resolved within the Divine Feminine, the emotional pain that must be going on there. But if there is a problem, right, that you are moving towards, that you have to make a crossroads decision at, even though it's usually not about the moon, right? But Hecate is the Queen of the Crossroads, the goddess of the crossroads, the goddess of the underworld, that there's a problem here that you need, that you really want some ideas and inspiration on. Remember, we got truth and integrity. Did we have truth and integrity here? Where did I see that card? Come up, ideas and inspiration. Yeah. Could have sworn that was in here. What was I looking at? Oh, ideas and inspiration. Got it. Okay, here we go. So here we go. Here in the mental part, the Justice card, right? So now we're going to clarify justice in the mental field with Guardian Angel, which is the higher self, really, truly. So, no, please, my masters. 1 card in clarity here. Please clarify this Guardian Angel and Justice card in the mental field of the Divine Masculine of this Aries collective. Floating on air. Floating on air. Now, with that Justice card, it's like, well, if the Justice is there, and my Guardian Angel, it's like, well, then this is going to, what, floating on air? Oh, it's Athena, Sky Goddess, right? It's seeing it from the very, very, very high altitude and seeing that justice is being served here. So imagine, okay, this is a little lame, but it's the image they're giving me, that here you are in 3rd dimensional, 4th dimensional awareness, and you're like, I don't know, I've been fucking villainized, right? I've been victimized. And, you know, my heart was hurt, but somehow there's divine guidance and all of this, so give me the divine guidance. And the divine guidance is, all right, Divine Masculine. Your 5th dimensional and above higher selves are going to lift you up, right? Floating on air. And, you know, that we associate that so much with those initial phases called limerence, right? Limerence. Google it. about that pink, fluffy, fuzzy falling in love thing. It's like you're falling and rising at the same time. But this is about, let's get you some perspective. Let's bring you up to the Athenian heights, the Athenian stratosphere, to show you the justice and bring you into mental balance with this, so that you can see what is just, what is fair, what is healthy, what is honorable. And I think that when you see that, there is going to be that sense of, oh my God, I did nothing wrong, right? Everybody's doing the best that they can. I did the best they could. Everything, this was totally part of the divine plan. All of this villainization that I went through, whether I was the villain, although I'm not really getting that here, that you're the villain here. I'm kind of getting you're more sort of the one who's cleaning up after whatever went on here. That's why you're walking away. So it's in a very interesting read to see that in the mind will come upliftment. But of course, as those emotions are being processed, heard, and released, it allows room for more grace, more love to come where it was not before, because lead repels that energy, gold attracts it, right, within our own alchemical system, so to speak. So here we've got this playful king, this emotional king of cups, the Cancerian king with the card of playfulness in the emotional field. So let's have a look here. What's this about? My masters, please clarify. One card of clarity here. Okay, cynicism, right? So now cynicism is usually a mental thing, right? It's an attitude, it's an approach. It's just like, ugh, whatever. And it's like the divine eye roll. Third eye roll. Still think that's a great name for a band. To kind of be playful with your own cynicism and really know that voice, it's something that, you know, you can play with cynically, but notice how it's making you feel emotionally. That when you are in that place of feeling villainized, victimized really is the word, right? That if you've been dealing with this victim and your romantic heart has just been burnt and you're going within with the divine feminine to heal that within yourself, then by all means, you can be cynical, but be playful about it. Just be like, I know, I just went through this. I'm being cynical. Love stings. Love stings, do. Yeah, yeah. Love stings. Love stings. Jay Giles Band. Hey, it was what I was raised in. It's programmed into the cerebellum too late now. It's where my playlists really are. So with your cynicism there, it's like play, but just remember the cynicism there. Make it playful. Just be careful that you do not turn around and villainize. Particularly with that if you've been emotionally abused, do not let your cynicism continue to ultimately keep abusing yourself, or use it to do unto others what was done unto you. It's the other way around. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. The golden rule. Do unto others as they have done unto you is the leaded rule. There, it's a thing now. Hashtag the leaded rule. Put it out there. From Mark A. Lyons. 18,000th ebook in a series. Okay, one more down here. We're going to look at the Knight of Wands with New Beginning. Now remember, you have that New Beginning mirrored there in the Divine Feminine. There's a lot of mirroring going on here, but it would. And remember, this is not about another person. This is about the dynamics going on inside of you within the path of true love. This is your healing path through relationships. And you're getting new beginnings about power, about happiness. So let's see. My masters, please clarify this new beginning here. A new beginning, having seen the betrayal. So what you're going on right now in the overview of spirit. Yes, you were betrayed. You were betrayed by a villain. It has hurt your heart. There is divine guidance for you, but you're getting a new beginning to really that Knight of Wands to take the quest of healing this wound of betrayal. Now, I just want to say something about betrayal. If you ever read Dante's Inferno, betrayal is that last level of hell. It's the very bottom of it, and where we think of that as being very fiery, it's not. It is the frozen lake, the lake of ice, I think. I forget exactly the term of it. It's been a while. But the thing is that all of the betrayers are frozen up to their necks in this lake, so they cannot move forward. Those who betray have sabotaged themselves. They have ultimately betrayed themselves. Isn't that how it goes? So if there's any self-betrayal here, you got to go in and melt that ice, right? Because we all betray ourselves. We can betray ourselves simply by saying, no, I'm gonna do yoga for at least 15 minutes every day. If we do it for 3 days, the fourth day, we're like, nah, I don't feel like it. Well, we just betrayed our oath to ourselves. That registers somewhere in the biochemistry. It just does. It's in the unconscious there. But remember, there's justice going on here, so that would make sense with that betrayal, that you're getting a new beginning of divine justice with this betrayal. And I will say, if someone has ever betrayed you, in terms of romantic sexual thing, I just dealt with this, and I'm not literally projecting on it. There's the card. The best punishment that I could wish upon him is that he never gets to kiss me or have sex with me again, because it was so electric. Boogie, oogie, oogie. It was so intense. But there were lies there that flew even under my intuitive thing. You think I didn't beat myself up about that? But really good deceivers, really good villains. And why are they villains? They're in extreme pain. They are doing unto others what was done unto them. And sometimes they don't even know it, right? It's so autopilot. So here's an opportunity for some really deep healing here for you, so that you can look at how you betray yourself and knock it off, but in tandem with going inside. So do you see the masculine-feminine balance here going on within you? So sure, if you can, I said, well, oh, that's that person did that, and that's person who did that. If you're identifying people here within this spread, then see them as triggers or mirrors, right? People who were designed by the divine plan, right? Divine guidance. You're being guided through the plan here to teach yourself how to learn, to heal, to grow, to evolve, to become the best that you can be. That everything in this world, in this hologram, is happening for us. It's everything is here to help us, no matter what it is, from lead to gold, from light to shadow, from bitch to breeze, right? Because sometimes it's a bitch, sometimes it's a breeze, sometimes love's blind, and sometimes it sees. Sometimes it's roses, and sometimes it's weeds. I love that song. Stevie Nicks, written by John Bon Jovi. A lot of people don't know that song was written for her by him. Anyway, I digress, as I usually do, and I got songs stuck in my head. Let's get you 2 Whisper of Love cards from the higher selves of all involved. So, and really, the only higher self involved here is your own, all right? Because this is your reading. This is your path of true love. So please, higher selves of all involved in this Aries collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. What's going on for the divine feminine within this Aries for the month, on the path of true love for the month of November 2019? Consider your foundation. You are being asked to look at how committed you are to love. Consider your foundation of love. What is your commitment to loving yourself? What is your commitment to loving what rises? What is your commitment to being on the path of true love no matter what? Because guess what? You're on it. You're on it. So what is your commitment? And are you looking at your patterns of commitment in your life? Because if you're the one being betrayed here, if you are the one who is villainized, then look at the pattern. Has this happened before? And not what'd you do. What is it that you can heal here? Why is it? How is it happening for you? And remember, you don't have to like it. You don't, oh, it's just here to help me. I don't like it, but I get it on some level. We'll figure it out as we go. Right? That cynicism there. So let's bop over here. Let's look. Please, the higher souls of all involved. Same thing for the divine masculine in this Aries collective on the path of true love for November 2019. You are limitless. You are limitless. You are limitless. Recognize this truth. You can do anything you choose to do. So it's your choice. This is going to end up being your choice, what you want to do, which would make sense with this warrior archetype. What are you going to do? You're going to be honorable or not? Are you going to take the hero's journey or not? Are you going to go within and heal or not? Are you going to destroy this villain, expose them, drag them? Or, are you going to do your healing and allow the divine... Now, when I say allow divine justice to take over, that doesn't mean you do nothing. Oh, no. Plenty of times you're involved. But it's about the why. Why? Because then that's what's supposed to happen. I'm supposed to fulfill that role, right? But I am limitless. I can do anything. I can walk away from this. I can manifest the healthy relationship, the authentic rather than the deceptive, the integrous, rather than betrayal. Yeah. So the divine feminine, consider your foundation. Divine masculine, you are limitless. Now we're bringing in the journey of love. I use this for the True Lovers Collective read. You're going to get one for each, divine feminine, divine masculine. But I have to read it from the book because they're so deep, and I can't memorize all that stuff. I'm still learning this, but it's just so mind-blowing every single time. So this will be my first time doing it in a read other than for myself. No, we did it for the True Lovers Collective, but I'm in that one, so. Breathe. My collective pantheons of angels, gods, masters, and higher selves of all involved, please, one card for the divine feminine. A card on where are they on the path of true love, with the journey of love card in the divine feminine. Ethereal touch. One for the divine masculine, please, in this Aries collective sun, moon, rising, Venus sign on the path of true love for November 2019. The blood dance. No, there are really no horrible cards in this deck. It's the journey of love, not Game of Thrones. All right, so for the divine feminine, I'm going to read this for you. This is Ethereal Touch. I got this card for myself, and I love it. It's really lovely. It definitely speaks to the divine feminine within me, particularly if you are pulled back. Ethereal Touch. Now, the way this works, it gives like the writer gives you, you know, a bit of education, a little bit, you know, a philosophy perspective, tells you the oracular meaning of the card, and then a poem. So I'm going to do all of that because these are worth it. Ethereal Touch. Spirit is present in your very touch at this time, and you are having an impact on the world around you, particularly your close relationships, in ways that are far more profound than may be immediately obvious. And that is shown in the divine masculine part, that there's stuff here that's shrouded, diffused. The touch of your soul is ethereal, spiritual, of light and sound. It moves the heart and opens pathways of possibility through love, faith, and trust that would otherwise be impossible to access. Trust in the presence of the divine in your touch, physical and spiritual. Now just pause there. So yes, the physical touching the divine masculine, even though this is in the divine feminine, but also the touch of your soul through prayer, that power, that ace of flames power in you, that spiritual power to touch from your soul at a distance, right? Not just Reiki. This is well, yes, that too, not just, right? Trust in the process of the divine in your touch, physical and spiritual. Your healing presence is making waves of love rise and stir in this world, and the divine lives and breathes through you, beloved. Remember that through the sacred temple of your body gifts you... Oh, sorry, I read that with wrong emphasis. Remember that though the sacred temple of your body gifts you with hands through which to hold and give, it is the soul within the flesh that renders touch a sacred healing. This oracle guides you to accept and embrace your healing abilities and to trust that you can feel your way through life by opening your hands to receive and taking hold of the opportunities that are presented to you. You are meant to touch the world with your gift, right? So this interior period is absolutely having its effect on the outer world, even if, I mean, the Eight of Cups is sort of like the emotional hermit card in the minor arcana. It's not the hermit card, though. In fact, I'm not really seeing any major arcana here except in the divine masculine. So for the month of November, know that the internal work you do, it's like we've been saying here, that every time you heal something within yourself, it heals it for all of the collective. But then that does parlay itself into the divine masculine in terms of the people that you touch, that your healing gift is needed. So all of this that you went through is to not just help you heal, but to help you be a healer in some way, shape, or form. And remember, not every healer hangs up a shingle, right? Not everybody takes clients. You can be a healer by listening and really being present, all sorts of different modalities. 42, the blood dance. Jinkies. The heart craves life, and the blood responds. In relationship to each other, life happens. the desire and the action, very divine masculine, the movement of cycles, drawing in and letting go, rushing to the center and pushing far away to the extremities. It is the cycle of relationship, dancing between self and other, into oneness and into individuality. So you get that, it's like the flow of the blood, the beat of the heart, the blood dance. It's going in and coming out and going in and going out. It's like, oh, I love you and I need time for myself. Back and forth. Into the oneness, back into individuality. And that's the dualistic paradigm we're in. That will, of course, in the fifth be rectified. So it is within human beings in relationship with each other, and with human beings and the divine essence. Sometimes the heart of God feels so close, it's as though our own inner passion is the very blood rushing through it. Then we journey far, bringing our nourishment to where it is needed, to those who are cold and lonely, to the farthest reaches of our own dark self, that we may, if very brave, dare to love completely, which means ourself embracing the shadow, loving the old wounds, the stuff that is absolutely portrayed here. This is so fucking right on. Though we can be lonely for the warmth of the center then, craving that feeling of being at home, soon enough we are called back to the core of the divine heart, and the cycle continues. Remember that you are always in this dance of life. You are never apart from the divine. It is just that sometimes in our natural flow, it is easier to feel that divine presence than other times. Yet you are always the blood connected to the heart. Yeah. Let me read the oracle part. This oracle brings you confirmation that you are connected to the divine source, to all that is. If you are experiencing a phase of feeling cut off from yourself, divine feminine, 8 of Cups, from your body, from another connection or intuition, right, going on here with all this moon stuff, perhaps feeling a little cut up from your intuition, be reassured that this is temporary and part of the cycle of life itself. Soon all connection shall return with even greater warmth and nourishment, welcoming you home again with great love. If you feel you have been journeying in life, right? If you feel you have been journeying in life, where is he? Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Wands, you remember him. And fear you have lost your way, do not trouble yourself, precious soul. You are never far from the divine heart and will always be called home. Love's language speaks like sounds of falling leaves, caressing wind to bear aroma sweet. You ask if I can love in measure true, and give emotions weight the scales do. In the Justice card, each tear releases more than words can say, expressing all my heart wants to convey. Well, I really love these cards, and I think it's sort of evident why. So your overview. In the Divine Feminine here, we've got the Don Juan, right? Going within, 8 of Cups, to bring harmony to the lover within herself. Wants that very, very much, to come to some sort of emotional, mental harmony about this lover situation. What do they have to do that? There's this enchanted old wound, right? Going within. Somehow this is all organized, choreographed by the divine to go in and deal with this old wound, this repetitive return of the universe pattern. In the mind, the Divine Feminine has the 6 of Cups with trust and dreams, very much wanting to be compassionate, trusting in compassion, and the dream that she wants can come true, right? Can have that healthy, balanced, equal give and take emotional relationship. While in the mind, that's in the mind. So in the mental field here, that Virgo card with listening and irresistibility to really listen to the voices of those old wounds emotionally. Those old emotions come up. They need to be healed. You need to occupy yourself with them. Hence, the desire to go all 8 of Cups and withdraw. because the overview here, what's really going on is a new beginning of power and an ability of happiness, and the seductive power of all of that to be drawn within is one thing, and then certainly to have that happiness be the new positive seductive quality. Here in the divine masculine half of this Aries collective, what they want, I get it now, is ideas and inspiration about this emotional problem, this moon problem, this problem that seems obscured, or the problem is that something is obscured. That is not something that the divine masculine mind is comfortable with. Wants to know clear, wants to know for sure, particularly because there was betrayal here in this spread, wants to know what the fuck was going on there, right? Why did that happen? And what they have is the Knight of Cups, right? That romantic knight going at a trot, right? Dealing with something villainous that has happened and is moving with and in divine grace. What are they thinking about this? They've got the Justice card, that card of Athena, clear and strong, with guardian angel and floating on air. And you can say that mentally, that Athena is going to handle this one. Athena will deal the final blow on this one. That it's not about punishment, it's about justice, and that will leave you that in a mental state floating on air. You will be able, kind of taken up to a higher perspective, to see the larger picture of how it served you, and perhaps some of the pain that the villain was in, to be able to do any of that which was done, because there was definitely a betrayal going on here. In the emotional field for the divine masculine here, we've got the King of Cups with playfulness and cynicism. That, yeah, cynicism is allowed, but, you know, make sure it's playful. Make sure that you're not doing unto others what was done unto you because of your own emotional pain, hence the divine feminine going in and listening to those cynical voices. Because remember, this is the warrior archetype we're dealing with here, so that could become very active, very toxic, very painful, and very narcissistic. Be careful of becoming a narcissist as a result of this betrayal experience, which is in the overview, the card of spirit. We've got the Knight of Wands, right? Perhaps this is a player, perhaps this was a deceiver, perhaps this is someone who was just in it for the sex and betrayed you, but you are getting a new beginning. Maybe with this person not feeling that so much, that absolutely feels more like a part of you that's saying, okay, well, I just survived this betrayal. Now I want to move forward passionately with a new beginning, which a warrior would. The message of the higher self for the divine feminine: consider your foundation. You're being asked to look at how committed you are to love, right? And the divine feminine, I could understand why she wouldn't be so committed right now, but certainly to be committed to love oneself, to love the pain that rises within, to nurture the self, self-love, self-care. In the divine masculine, the message from the higher self: you are limitless. Recognize this truth. You can do anything you choose to do, including get this new beginning, moving on. Both masculine and feminine within you are about moving on, and that you are limitless, and you can make this dream come true. You can have something happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise in terms of a romantic, intimate partnership. The Journey of the Soul card, the ethereal touch, that whether near or far, physically or spiritually, you are having effect in the quantum, and a healing effect in the quantum. So keep healing you and walk lightly in the world. And I think that that's connected to this card of the blood dance as well, that there is this ebb and flow, that the divine masculine part of you is going to, in one moment, feel connected to the divine, and next completely isolated, and then one feeling like going out and being in the world, and the next pulling back within the heart. But that you are never separate from the divine, like the blood is not separate from the heart. You journey out and return, journey out and return, journey out and return, which is certainly indicated in the divine feminine with that Eight of Cups. So there we go, my Aries. It's a long read, but it's a good read. I think that this is definitely showing you some real signs on your own healing path, on the path of true love, of where you can go, of what you can do, of what you can think, of what you're going to be thinking, and what you're going to be feeling in order to bring yourself further on the path of true love. And remember, if some of these court cards or some of these instances, particularly that betrayal card, right, about that trust card, about old wounds, about the lovers, there are certain cards in here that's going to trigger, oh, that's that person, that's that person. Then just remember to see that clearly as my right contact lens decides to do contact lenses, cartwheels, there we go, that make sure you're seeing clearly on it. It's like, yes, well, but this reading, none of these cards are them. This is what's me. And then they have come in to match, to entangle, let's use a quantum word there, quantal entanglement there, to help me, to serve me even unto betrayal if it drove me into myself to heal. Cool, not so cool. But that's why, you know, there are people here to help, and I am here to help. I am a professional intuitive, I said, but I've also been a spiritual counselor. I mean, officially for a really long time, but my whole life I've always been counseling people. It is part of my skill, and certainly I am a Facebook message away. Give me time to get back to you, or if you'd like to book me for a reading, check everything in the description box below. But for now, my Aries collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, I may be blessed with all that you need on the path of true love, to grow, to heal, to learn, to become the best that you can be, and embody and integrate true, unconditional, divine love into your life in every way, shape, or form possible for the well-being of all. And so it is. Wishing you the very best and the very blessed. But for now, hail, farewell, and blessed be.